What's up, what's up? I'm your host, Mel, and welcome to the One Brotherhood Podcast. You're listening to the voice of a new generation of leaders, young men stepping up, speaking out, and building something bigger than themselves. Strength, growth, brotherhood. This is where we rise together. This is the One Brotherhood Podcast. Today you'll hear from a group of young leaders, Clement, Joshua, and Dickson, talking about the purpose, impact, and vision of bringing the Brotherhood and Power Club to Mount Vernon High School. You'll also hear Zen with Zander, a couple of wise words and encouragement from our young leader, Zander. Welcome to the One Brotherhood Podcast. I'm your boy, Mel.
I'm Clement.
I'm Dickson.
I'm Joshua.
And we're talking about the Brotherhood Club being brought into Mount Vernon today. I actually want to start off, how do you feel about that, Clement, and then we can go around.
One thing I would say is that when we first brought the club into Mount Vernon and we had our first session, it was a nice environment. Everyone was cheerful. We all met each other. We introduced ourselves. It was like a real bondhood moment. And, I'm grateful to say that, that first session went smoothly.
I'd say it was really good for our first time. It was a really great experience. Nobody really knew what they were doing at first, but we got the hang of it.
For me, I would say that it went really well. Everybody just learned new things. Our theme was discipline, so just that being our first theme of the club meeting, I think that's what really got everybody engaged. Having that first strong topic was a really cohesive topic to go on about.
How do you feel that the goals that we talk about in the meetings, like discipline, will affect the young men we're empowering in the school long term?
So I think that it would just give them a sense of realization and a sense of having the courage and discipline to feel that they have the need to go and do better and, go out in the real world. And when they leave that doors of the brotherhood, that they can use what they learned in that room, in that meeting, that discipline from the theme that we learned, to use it and go on and just prevail in life and do more.
I understand. I get that. How you feel about that, Dickson?
I say it will give them not a sense of like hope, but like enjoyment of like looking up to like another person that's older than them and like having a sense of like encouragement to keep on showing up to those type of meetings in school.
So would you say like having us, the leaders and the mentors, coming in talking to kids that are around the same age, so we're all kind of around the same age, it kind of helps better get the lesson across and help people pertain the information?
Yes, it does.
How about you, Clement?
I agree with what Dickson said because, I feel like having leaders like us talking to kids like our age kind of gives them the opportunity to realize that, they're not alone and they have the courage to kind of speak out. They just need that, motivation to do it.
Yeah, I agree with Clement because when they see that we're their age, we're their classmates, we're just like them leading, they can see that they have the ability and the chance and the opportunity to do it. So they'll just realize it, just take it in and they'll do the action, complete it.
So how do y'all think the students and the other guys we were empowering, how do you think that they responded to the lesson itself? Do you think they responded good, bad? Like, what's your outlook over it?
I feel like they responded good because, they kind of took a lot of intake on how to become disciplined. They found ways to, be, how do I say this? Like, be one with the, with the movement. And I feel like they can really get some life lessons from the meetings and, the lessons that we give them and, and have it go on in the long run, I would say.
I feel like it was a good intake from that particular meeting because each different type of new member that came in responded in a good way because they see us as like a good role model to them, so they would want to like follow in our footsteps, basically.
I get that. I feel the same way. I feel that all the guys that kind of like reacted well to the lesson because it wasn't like they're getting talked to by an adult or by a teacher, because I feel like that kind of stresses you out as a young kid. You hear that enough, your parents, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, somebody always talking to you. I feel like it was us, like, your peers, people around your age, people that you talk to on the daily, talking to you. You're learning the lesson together, you're growing together. I feel like that also helped them, kind of get the lesson a little better.
Yeah, just coming off what Mel said, I think that peer-to-peer teaching that we had during the club meeting was very important, just that peer-to-peer group one-on-ones with each other that really helped us. I think they took it in really well. the way they were engaging, paying attention. It's just a different form I've never seen in the school before. So,
And
type of focus.
yeah, and I would say because it was a teen-to-teen conversation, where we was all having fun, enjoying the lesson, being a brotherhood and whatnot. And I felt like that was probably one of the best things we had that went well in that meeting so far. That we was all connected. No one was really nervous to say anything, or to be shy to not open up. And we was all having fun, having good discussions, and being one as a family.
To really build off of that, I was just gonna say, what was some moments that stood out to you guys during the meeting? Because I know me, a moment that stood out was just when we all just kind of relaxed, had our own little icebreaker, and we just, relaxed. We just all got to kind of know each other, but we all know each other because we all go to school together. But it's we all kind of just, we got comfortable, and that sense of being comfortable is what was needed to really be able to take in a lesson like that.
Yeah, I would say for me, one of the things that stood out to me was the conversations we had. Because after we had those discussions and, we set out in our groups and they had those conversations, I felt like, the teens that were in there really had deep conversations about the discussion we was talking about, which kind of made it more interesting and gave out more, ideas for what to plan on for the next meeting. So having those type of conversations about discipline and, mental health was a really good thing. So I would like to say, I feel like us as young men, we did a good job on, setting the standard for that.
And I would say one of the many things that stood out to me was asking the new members that recently joined is why did they join the Brotherhood, and they gave out briefly good responses oh, I see my friends making a huge impact on the Brotherhood, and I just wanted to make a huge impact as well to make a better choice in their life.
Yeah, for me, what stood out was just the answers of my students or my peers, just the answers that they gave during the meeting, hearing from different people that I never really hear from, or just hearing the different answers that coming from them that's not really education related, but mental health related. It really hit different.
I completely get that. I think y'all all hit strongly on what I was feeling too. I felt all of that y'all were feeling. So what would y'all say we can improve on, or how can we better support the students? What can we get better at? Because of course there's always room to improve. There's always room to grow. What can we do better to make the meetings more accessible to everybody?
I feel like for the Brotherhood that are not really, into it, we should have them participate and, really join in the question to kind of make it more interesting, because I feel like some of the new members that are coming in, they're still, they're eager to answer. They just don't want to be open about it, and they're shy to kind of discuss about what we're discussing. So I feel like having us, lead by example and, kind of talk about what the lesson will be talking about, kind of gives them the opportunity to really speak on their minds of what they're really feeling about, and kind of give it more, a good, how I say, productivity and whatnot.
I feel that. I completely get that.
I feel like to get new members more engaged, it's not necessarily icebreakers, but I say little mini games about the original Brotherhood members, two truths and a lie, to make the new Brotherhood members guess about facts and non-facts about us.
I think the only thing we can really do is just keep going forward and keep prevailing and going up, because as we keep on moving forward, it just makes us stronger. So I think that's what it is.
I feel that. What do you hope the club becomes for Mount Vernon students, over time, even after we leave? I know you're about to graduate, and, how do y'all just feel what do you think the club will become in Mount Vernon?
So I hope for the club to become just a really safe sanctuary for students in Mount Vernon, just for them having a place to go for anything, or if they need any resources or opportunities, just resources in their community or in their school environment. I think that's really it's a mandatory for what a student needs to really just prevail in life and do more.
I hope that the club at Mount Vernon, still stays there. I hope that, teens still come there to have opportunities to kind of talk about their mental health and to kind of discuss about, team things, and to have it be a safe space for people and not be shy to kind of meet new opportunities and meet new people.
I just want the club to be a safe space for everybody, all ages and Mount Vernon people to come and enjoy themselves. Basically, like leaving a legacy for the One Brotherhood in Mount Vernon.
I think for me, I really hope and I just want the club to become just a place where it's not just us, like it's not just people of our color, skin, like it's not just young black boys coming. I want the young Hispanic boys to come, the young white boys to come, the young white girls, young black girls, just everybody. Is open to anybody. It doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your color, your gender. I just want it to be able to become a place where anybody can come and just feel safe in a sanctuary, like Josh said, like just a place where anybody can come and get help, because we're a resource at the end of the day. We're trying to give back to the community. So with that said, how do y'all feel this talking? Anybody have anything they need to get off their chest?
No, I just can't wait for the next meeting to start.
Yeah, I can't wait for our next topic. What's it about? It's a surprise for the next episode, so y'all just have to stay tuned to that.
I appreciate y'all coming in and talking with me, and I appreciate y'all just sitting down and having a real talk with me.
All right, thank you for having us, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
Welcome back to another Zen with Zander moment. Today I want to talk about something many young athletes face but don't always express: the weight of expectations. There are two types of expectations. There are internal expectations and external expectations. The internal expectations are the expectations that you expect from yourself, your own standards. External expectations are what everyone else expects and everybody else's standards. Learning the difference in that is key. Number 2, pressure doesn't equal identity. Our performance does not equal who we are. Who we are equals who we are. Our performance does not shape who we are as human beings or our worth. You as a person defines your worth. We are a person first, an athlete second. Another thing is battling not only physical but mental demands. I know for me, battling my mental demands is more important than battling my physical demands, because it definitely shows up in the game and in practice. Battling your mental demands also affects how your performance goes. Doing one bad mistake cannot ruin your entire game. So I would say meditation, improving your focus can definitely help you perform better as an athlete. Number 4, healthy competitiveness. I know we often compare ourselves to other people as a form of expectation or standards that we set ourselves to. But as I always like to remind myself, comparison is a thief of joy. So compete and compare to improve yourself as a person and set the blueprint, not to meet somebody else's expectations and standards. Some strategies and my personal advice that I would like to share is setting realistic goals, short and long term. Learn to say, I need to take a break without guilt. Celebrate the small improvements. And last but not least, use routines such as breathing, affirmations, and stretching to stay grounded into yourself. You can be a great athlete without carrying the weight of the world. Free your mind and your game will follow.
Thank you for tuning into the One Brotherhood Podcast. Listen to our conversations. We appreciate the support and can't wait for you to hear the next episode. One community, one brotherhood.
Hello, my name is Michael Bates, and today I learned in the meeting about discipline and motivation. Discipline means to me is like being obedient, self-control, helps you being more consistent, and motivation is more like a thrive. It's gonna help you thrive through a day. And what brotherhood means to me is it's a safe place for any young man. You're very comfortable. You can talk to whoever comfortably, and it's a safe place for anyone.
Hello, my name is Dylan Thompson, and today in the meeting I learned about discipline and motivation. And what that means to me is discipline, it means something you're consistent with, and obedient with. Motivation, I feel like it's just a temporary feeling you want to get to, and I feel like it's not always going to be there, but it's a part of life. And what I learned today about Brotherhood was it's a safe environment. It's some people you can go to, friends, people you don't know, or just like a safe environment for the people.